Who's excited for the big sale tomorrow? I've been prepping all weekend. A lot of my customers are very excited because if you don't know, Saint only has a few sales a year, so it's kind of a big deal. I wanted to go through because a few people have asked me about brushes, and I'm just going to try to be quick. I'm not good at that, but I'm going to try to quickly show you what I use some of the brushes that are 40% off tomorrow for. They're some of my favorite ones. These brushes, I mean, make all the difference. Like, I have some people that will start out with the makeup and say, oh, I have my own brushes, and no pressure, you could try your own brushes. And then they'll come back to me and say, all right, let me try one of the Saint brushes. And then like, I'll get a text immediately about how much they love it. So they're really, really good quality. And some of them are $40 usually. So 40% off is a good deal. The eyeshadow brush is my favorite eyeshadow brush I've ever used. Cannot explain why, but I feel like my eyeshadow has never been so easy to put on and looked so good until I got this eyeshadow brush. It's usually $20. So what does that make it? 12? Oh, anyway, I'm gonna stay away from trying to do the discount live. Brush here called the Spot Brush. This is a fan favorite for sure. If you see other girls on social media putting this makeup on, usually you'll see them doing the dot method, which they'll dip into their contour and they'll draw the line here and put it on their forehead here, jawline here, and if you're contouring your nose here, and then a little bit under here for a juicier lip. Which, by the way, if you have a 4 palette, 8 palette, the 8 palettes are on sale too. So perfect time to get one of those if you're a new client. But if you're an existing client and you feel like your palette is almost full and you're really loving the makeup and you want to add to your collection, this is the 27 palette. I have a bunch of different foundations and concealer here. And, you know, depending on the season, your skin changes, obviously. Some seasons you're more tan and then other seasons you're more pale. So this just gives me a bunch of options. Sometimes I want a brighter under eye and sometimes I want one that's not so bright. Not to say that most people are gonna have those. Obviously, as an artist, I have more colors than most people would have. I have my setting powder here, a color corrector, the eyeshadow color that I fill my eyebrows in with. And then on the second one, I have different lip and cheek options. It's always fun to have a few different colors for blushes because you just want to switch it up sometimes, you know? And then this right here is just a lip balm. So I hate dry lips. So I love having one of those in my palette. Also, tip, if you mix this with a powder eyeshadow, it will turn it into a cream eyeshadow. And then on the third tier, I have my eyeshadows and the eyeshadow cleaner tile, also 40% off tomorrow. So if you're switching into, obviously powders will transfer easier than the cream makeups will. So in between powders, you can just go like this and clean your brush. How cool is that? Okay, so like I said, you might want to grab one of these 27 palette compacts while they're 40% off because it's a really good deal. All right, back to the demonstration. So the first way to put on your makeup, I'm gonna go now, I flip the brush and I'm gonna go into my main color and just kind of dot that on. And I'm gonna skip putting my concealer right under my eyes because I prefer to put the color corrector there to have less makeup, less texture, less cakiness, and the area that's more fine skin. My preferred method is using this buff brush. Another one, 40% off tomorrow. This brush is so amazing for medium to heavy, not heavy, what do I want to say? Medium to full coverage. If you love medium to full coverage, you're gonna love this brush. All the brushes are double-ended. This one's really densely packed, and so I like it because I have a lot of hyperpigmentation. I wish I could be someone to wear minimal makeup and one of these brushes that does, you know, lighter coverage, but unfortunately I'm not gonna get the coverage I want unless I use a brush like this. That's just my preference. So the brushes are what determines what kind of coverage you're getting in cream makeup. Put my contour on with the brush like this, under my jawline. You can use the tip of this if you want to put the contour down your nose. Just putting a little bit. Okay. Forehead. And I'm more so blending this one in as I go versus the other side. And then I'm gonna flip over and go into my main shade. And see what I mean? I'm just stippling it on with this brush is gonna give me a fuller coverage. So here's to show you an example. Because I didn't put my foundation on in this area and only my contour, if you have hyperpigmentation like me, you're gonna see some of the spots show through. Not to say that's a bad thing. Some people might not mind that. I do. Now I'm gonna show you the difference on this side. I don't have the wash brush on me, but it's very similar to the shape brush. The shape brush isn't on sale tomorrow, but the wash brush is. This is for lighter coverage. I love the feel of this brush, but like I said, I just don't love light coverage on me because I'm trying to cover up things. So you'll see once I blend this in. Now blend in my contour. Actually, doesn't look so bad, huh? See, just a lighter coverage than what you see down here. If you flip over to the other side of all these brushes to the smaller side, it's the perfect side to dip in and do your concealer with. Same thing for the buff brush. This side smaller, dip in and do your concealer under here. Like I said, I was gonna hold off on my concealer because I prefer to use one of these color correctors under my eyes. Very, very minimal makeup. The skin is so thin under here and it can get easily more textured looking if you put a bunch of bright, thick concealer on it. So these are wax-based and they're barely detectable. This is the spot brush. If you are using one of these color correctors, you need the spot brush. You dot it on your darker areas. If you have dark under eyes or bags, you're gonna dot this in the darkest like divot line there, and then flip over to the other side and blend it out. See, very minimal. Brightened up my under eye. You can even dip right into the color and just kind of pat it. And I prefer that. Line brush. And it's got a spoolie end to brush your brows, and then I flip over to this other thin end and either dip into the contour or eyeshadow and do my brows. Multitasker brush, another one of my favorites that I use every day. This side, I pretty much dip into my contour and line my lip slit. And then I'll pick a lip and cheek color and fill my lips in. I'll show you that in a minute because I want to show you one of the lip and cheek colors that are on sale. And then the other end of this, and you could line your lips with that end of it. I also like to use this to put, like it's very precisely draws a line of like eyeliner, or if you're using even an eyeshadow to put eyeliner under your eyes, that works great for that. And then as far as the lip and cheeks, some of the colors I don't have. The only one that I have on me right now in this palette that is on sale tomorrow, because like I said, they're not all of them, they're just select colors, is this one here called, here, Ibiza. This one is a really pretty shade. Like I said, some of them I like more for my lips and some of them I like more for my cheeks. So if you mix 2 shades on your cheeks and then maybe just want this color on your lips, there we go. So I'm gonna show you with the lips being lined with the contour, which is also gonna make this color a little bit darker. I like this color on my lips. Okay. It's a pretty light pink nude. On my cheek, see how it's showing up, okay? It's very light. And that's why if you're debating on any colors that you're picking tomorrow, please ask me because I know what they all look like on, and they look a lot different on the skin than they do on the website, like way different. We obviously know some of the really dark colors are not super dark at all when you put them on, so don't be scared of the dark ones. So this is Ibiza on its own. Now that might be enough for some people. That's pretty. I didn't even plan it to go with this shirt today, but I like it. I've actually never worn it by itself before because I thought it was too light for me. What I would probably do is mix it with another one of these pink colors. This one here, this one isn't on sale, but it's called Cindy. And I'm gonna show you using that wash brush that's on sale tomorrow that I said is a lighter coverage for concealer. It's one of my favorite, why am I so tongue-tied? It's one of my favorite brushes to put blush on with. I don't know why, I just love the way it feels. So I'm gonna dip into a little bit of the Cindy and mix it. So you can tell this color is darker and more pigmented. But I put on literally the tiniest amount. These tins will last you so long. The blushes will probably last you at least a year. And that's like only if you're wearing it every day, which most people don't even wear makeup every day. But these are the perfumes, the solid perfumes that are sad. There's mist sprays, and then there's also the ones that go into your palette like this. And you might think like, oh, that's weird, but I think it's so cool that it smells good, but it's a light smell. It's not overpowering. So when I even open up my compact and I have one of these in here, I just love that I can smell something that smells good. And I'm very like sensitive to smells. I'm not somebody who wears perfume on a regular basis. This is number 3. I really like the scent of this. It's just light and fresh. Like it's not like where I'm smelling myself all day. I'll just like gently catch a little whiff and be like, ooh, that smells good. And then it's also a illuminator, which is a highlighter to give you just kind of an extra glow. So I think that's so cool that has a scent on it, and it's that. And so then I'll also just take it and like use it like I would a regular perfume. Again, to recap, smudge brush, it's what I dotted the makeup on. Buff brush is gonna give you a more full coverage look. The spot brush, perfect for the color correctors. So the multitasker brush is perfect for lips and eyeliner. And then the line brush is perfect for eyebrows, filling in your brows. Eyeshadow brush, best eyeshadow brush I ever had. The wash brush, which is a lighter coverage, but I said I love to use that to put on my cheek colors. So let me know tomorrow if you have any questions whatsoever. I will be sending out a text early morning with the link to the sale and the items that are on sale, and I'll probably have this video attached too. So happy shopping.